Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. How's everyone doing? Hello, Pebble. Long time. It's been a long time since I saw you. At least 15 seconds. I'm currently building the same base, like the base that I lived in, to test around with it. Cause I thought, now that I lived in it, I have and used it, maybe I can think of some better ways of how to do it. Yeah. I think I want something like this here. Yeah. This is more what I'm looking for. Oh, fuck me. Usually when I'm building, I don't even bother placing the unloadable correctly. I just put down a vending machine to mark where it is and to have it in the build cost. Okay. This was what we built. Okay, when living it, I thought that I wanted some form of roof access. Because, yeah, like to check for the door campers, because that was annoying. I got roof, door camp, basically the entire vibe. Is this even correct? 15? Yeah, but... Okay, I think this is like correct. But is there a way to do it better? We'll save this for now. We'll turn on build cost. Okay. Okay. I thought a bit about maybe, I don't know, adding a shooting floor. Or some form of roof access, but for that I would want to see how much that would increase the cost. I would probably have to do this still. Oh wait, would I? 1, 2, 17, 6. Nah, there's nothing that's 6 rockets strong unless I want to build another unlootable up there. But I'm not feeling that. Would this be worth it in my opinion? How much more expensive is it like this? It's not that great, but it's not supposed to be super brutal. What was the build cost before? Wasn't it like 8.1? 8, something around 8k. We added about 8k. No, we added about 6k stone and few hundred metal for this. Maybe it's worth it. But I would definitely want some dedicated space for the... well, some space to put down the research table and a repair bench. Didn't really have that last time because of the way... well, I want some space for some more utility, because last time I would have had to decide between a fridge. What do you mean, this program? I'm not running any program, I'm just playing Rust right now. Or are you talking about the things in the build? Like for building? Because those are just part of the build server that I'm playing. Those are just part of the build server. Oh, that's just the build server? It's just... that's just a server like any other. Like the servers that you normally... yeah. Dav, you know that the furnace space, Apple doesn't use floor grills. How about you turn on me? What do you mean a livable do you mean a livable furnace space? Because that sounds pretty stupid. Can you splash this? I don't think... oh, you can splash it. Fuck, that's not good. Oh, that means the space is actually weaker. I think that got changed. Nah, that doesn't sound like a good idea. That sounds like something that is possible but shouldn't be done. This is annoying. I didn't know you were able to splash that. I thought you weren't. Must have... like, I don't know, I tested. But it must have been changed. Have you seen the unlootable ramp loot rooms? If you're talking about the ones that I know, then they are pretty old. Old news. Still splash. Add a triangle roof tile to the corners. Hi, Tetzel. You should have seen... You should have seen how the run ended. I had to finish it with my DB, with a DB, because I didn't have any ammo anymore. And then at the end I just died to a silenced AK camping the way up. So then I got annoyed and just left. You can splash this. I didn't know this still were. I thought it got... I know it was different at some point when I tested the space, but I guess we have to find a way around. Oh no, no, you can. Oh fuck. Wait, did I save it? I'm pretty I saved it at this point, doesn't really matter. Yeah, you can ride it for 21 rockets this way. That is annoying. That basically makes the space useless, if you like. Well, not useless, but shit. No, I don't. I don't often build clan bases. I basically build, like, I maybe start building once a month. You can't have a fix for this. You can't just fix. That's just... No, I don't. Like the base that... the Gorilla probably is the biggest base that I ever finished building. At least that I can remember. No, I one time built a bigger. But I don't think I ever built something that's for more than an 8-man. And I only built that one time. I don't know Wildrum's new solo base. If someone built it here, then I can look it up, check it out. If not, then would it be this? Did someone here build it? Wildrum solo base. Oh yeah, it looks like this one. It looks pretty bad so far. Okay, it's about a box each of materials. About 450 high qual. That's very expensive for a solo base. Okay, we'll see. From here you can just see that Wildrum just isn't a good builder. Now you can already see Wildrum isn't a good builder. Why is this here armored? Looks don't matter. Looks are... See, this here is armored. Why is it armored? When you go through the bunker, you can just blow out any of these walls and then you're able to just destroy the twig. Fuck. I didn't save it. We can let's check out. No. Maybe the person just did it, but I will have to assume that the person built it correctly. Well, if looks keep your loot safe, then that's very nice. Sadly that. Okay, let's check again. Let's see what the raid cost of this would be. And let's see what Wildrum says. This is a 31 rocket based on his thumbnail. Let's see. Okay, he isn't giving. For what it is 31 rockets, so I would just assume main loot. So let's find out. First raid path I think of would be 4, 8, 20, 20. The first raid path, think of it. The first raid path that we thought of is already 10 rockets cheaper than what he claims in his video. The first. Let me show you that it works. Let's start. 4 rocket this. And then we 8 rocket this. This isn't even including anything like using expo ammo or something like that. Okay, that one is 20 HP. Well, oh. I just splashed bad. I will do it again. Reset counter and let's do it correct this time. Okay, we begin with 4 rockets here to splash. 1, 2, 3, 4. Next we start splashing again with 8 rockets here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, I didn't check there was a half full. We'll have to do it again. I'm too lazy to check. 1, 2, 3. Reset counter. Let's just add 4 to it anyway. This is okay. I'll have to shoot here. My bad. Oh, I'm not really paying attention. Okay, let's do it correct. I hate myself right now. Let's just. And now the bunker's already almost broken. You should care about the raid cost. It's like, what's the point in building a base if you don't care about the raid cost? Okay, we just got the core. Like, this base is currently, we just got all of the core NSTC for 17 rockets. 17. Let me, like, I don't know if you guys are good at math, but no, not +4, we reset it. It's actually 17. It was, yeah. No, not 21. We didn't. Oh yeah, I didn't break the sheet wall. Now we broke it. 19. I'm sorry, 19. Let's reload it again and let's look if you can do it even cheat. 19 and a bit of expo ammo. Yeah, it is. Okay. 8, 16, 19. Splash. Where else can you splash? Can you maybe come from this angle? This doesn't seem as appetizing. Probably this is just the best. Straight wall. Uh, 4, 12, 20, 28. A straight wall rate would be 29. So even if we just go through these walls here, we are already No, you can't instant out the bunker if it's done correctly. It's like, think about it. Even if we don't pay any attention and just go through walls, we are already cheaper than what he said. It depends how much you want to farm. The base that I used, yes, like literally just going through, just tunneling through the walls and just saying, let's go, going in a straight line without ever looking for splash damage, like for something smart. I'm currently on rusticated sandbox. This is what I built as a solo player, and I enjoyed living in it. See, now, like, even like this 27 rockets. Let's see how... Oh, wait. Rate counter. I need to reset the counter. Let's load it again and see for how cheap we can get... Yeah, 19. It's 19 rocket rate. Let's try to splash a bit better and see how much loot we can get. Okay, after 4 rockets, we get nothing. Let's... and now we could just... boom. And start shooting here. Wait, where's the connection? There it is. If we shoot here, we should be fine. And then we can splash a bit better, maybe. Maybe if you move like this. Yeah, here. How cheap can we get into core? No, not how cheap. If we now do it... Okay, I think the best option now would be to shoot 8 rockets in this corner right here. Now, with 21 rockets and a bit of expo ammo, we have core. And for... like, we get all of this, we get this, and then we can just... I don't know. This is already pretty low. We can just... Wait, we might be able to... If we shoot here. Yeah, we just opened both of these. And now this is like 1 rocket and a bit of extra ammo. So yeah, we just got basically all loot for 26 rockets. And we can get to core for 19. I don't know where he's getting his 31 from. So, in conclusion, we can say William solo base, not good. I usually like to rate bases from a scale of 1 to 6. So let's give this base an honest rating. It's like, I want to, even if the raid cost is a lot worse than he says, maybe the base is still good. I already see William failed math in preschool. You might ask now, why did William fail math in preschool? Well, if we take, for example, if we build this here real quick, 165, I hope I'm not wrong, because then I'm stupid. See, 158. If he would just take these out instead of having them separate, combining them, it would already be cheaper. But why do something that's smart? Okay, so that's stupid. Then raid cost very low. The core seems pretty annoying. This isn't a starter. You can't have this as a starter at all. This is completely garbage. Solo base without starter, we throw that in the trash. Then this jump up here. It's okay. It's like, okay, no, this is look, this is already, you go up here. Let's say the bunker isn't there. You would see the boxes break, but maybe that's just the way that this person placed it. I don't know. So let's say you have a ladder here. Please don't spam, but maybe I can make more triple stack loot rooms. Depends on if I have an idea. I can elaborate it on it a bit. But let's say you have a ladder here. Then you would need to get... See, it's already 8. Then you need to jump on a workbench to jump on here. This is annoying as fuck. It's all triangle. All triangle is supposed to make it cheap and strong, but it isn't even strong and it isn't even cheap. Then box storage seems okay. Seems easy enough to access. Yeah, seems okay to me. Then you have furnaces here. As a jump up. Yeah. I feel like he spammed so many garage doors. Tetzel, it's 9. Tetzel, what do you think? How much does he claim this raid is? This base is. It's William's base. So, I would say the space is honestly like... Yeah, he claims it's 30. Take a guess for how much we raided the core. Random videos, please stop spam. No, he claimed 31. I would honestly say the space is probably like at... The space is a 1.5 out of 6. This is William's new solo base. It's like, there's nothing good about the space. Honestly. Nah, you can't really. Problem isn't Splash. Problem is just the space is badly designed and he is... the things that he would have to do to make it the raid cost that he claims would make it as bad as would make it as expensive as a trio base. Why does Vice not like Tronin? Because Vice is... I don't know. I would just guess that Vice is very passionate about Rust building. And Tronin is quote-unquote lying. Maybe he doesn't know better. Maybe he's lying on purpose. I don't know. I don't want to say. And maybe Vice is just feeling shit about Tronin saying these things about something that Vice likes so much. Because Vice probably spends most of his free time building Rust bases. And so he's probably very passionate about it. So, this William solo... Wait, let's... how do I set this up? Okay. I want to write William a little report card on his base. William's solo base. Like, I don't know if you guys know, but I want to become a teacher, so we gotta grade him. I'm currently on a rusticated sandbox. Grade 1.5 out of 6. Failed. See me after class. Cost to raid protection. 2 out of 6. Ease of access. 2 out of 6. Expandability. 0.5 out of 6. What else is important in a base? Utility. Looks like it has some utility. You have a windmill. It doesn't even have peaks. Utility. 2 out of 6. I'm not doing him dirty. I'm being honest. Okay, we can write looks, but we're gonna put it in quotation marks because it doesn't actually matter. I think it looks ugly. 1 out of 6. Storage. Good. How many boxes? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, seems to storage. Seems to be decently spread. Cause a bit annoying to access. 4 out of 6. Didn't do it bad. Now let's give it 4.5 out of 6. Because it honestly isn't that bad. Yeah, cost to raid defense. Oh no, honestly it's worse than it. It's 1.5. Oh yeah. Defendability. 2 out of 6. For defendability, all you have is this really stupid thing up here. Honestly, no, it's worse than that. It's 1.5. It's 1.5 out of 6. I don't need to know build progression. How the fuck are you supposed to progress this? That turret placement is so garbage. Nobody's gonna rate this base top down. I don't know what the turret covers. Maybe you can land an auto turret up here. Like, I don't know why he did. I don't think so, but why didn't he just put an auto turret landing spot there? It's so easy. And what the fuck is the point of this? It is so high. I don't think YouTube takes any cut of the super chats. Brookie, I'm not really interested in making modded bases. Maybe I will make clan bases if I get an idea. Okay, notepad is blocking. Wait. Boom. Huh. I'm sorry. Yeah, I do care. Extra. The concept of the base is a good idea. Small, fully armored bunker core in an all triangle base for a lot of protection. For a lot of protection with little cost. But you failed at it by not accounting for any raid paths except doors, I feel like. The base is actually only 19 rockets to core instead of the claimed 31. Yeah. Okay, do you guys think we should post this under his video? Created by DavDav building and chat. Okay. Well, if he will block it, then that's his thing. Like, he can block whatever he wants. I post what I think is correct. He does with it what he thinks. Okay. If you want, I can raid viewer bases. If you guys have any bases saved and rusticated, or can build them really quick and then just show me, I can come to your plot and yeah, look at them. I don't like Sanctuary, and I'm banned from it. But even when I wasn't banned, I got banned because the owner doesn't like me. Because I'm friends with Tetzel. If you guys know him, he's in chat here sometimes, and the owner doesn't like Tetzel. And yeah, because I'm friends with Tetzel, the owner banned me. I play on pirated client without build server. Yikes. Yeah, like Zedge. Zedge owns Sanctuary and stuff like that. No, Vice doesn't own anything. Vice is just like doing some stuff. Very poor you. No, I don't think they own. I don't think Vice and Yoshi own anything. I think they're just admins. But I think like actually legally Vice owns all of it. I seen a new bunker that places a flat. The place is a flat roof instead of a foundation. I don't know what you mean. Well, I know what you mean, but I don't think that's possible. Okay, how can we do that bunker without it being just a complete splash fest? Yeah, sure. I don't know if you guys can send links, but you can try. I don't really have an idea of what I'm actually doing here. Okay. How could we make this space actually viable again? Because I'm pretty sure it wasn't splashable like that when I built it. And now it is. And I don't like that. So we have to find a way around it. An option might be to have shop fronts here. Make these here metal, have shop fronts here. I would have to test with that, but I think that might be the play. Would be a bit more expensive. But maybe it would be worth it. Oh. let's think again. Would this fix our problem of splash? Now, if someone starts... I don't think it would, now that I think about it. Yeah, deals splash. And now if you shoot here, yeah, it still splashes. Then we do this. That would make the base only 21 rockets to raid. Which isn't that great. I don't use sanctuaries, so I can't load that in. No, the problem is that you can splash roofs through that. And the entrance is a weak spot by being able to splash into the entrance at the same time. I don't know when they changed that you can now splash roofs even from the front through walls. Oh, that's investigated. Well, let me load it in. Iceberg base. CB, that's probably you. Copy to builds. Build iceberg base. The peaks are pretty bad. Like, door peaks aren't great in the first place. And then there are like 4 of them in total. 4 in quotation marks, because these are basically the same peak. Also, what is the point in this? Wait a minute. Where's the entrance? Let's go from there. Ladder hatch. Don't like it, but I guess it's personal opinion. 1, 2, 3, 9. The space is 24 rockets to TC. That's not really a lot. Yeah, but ramps are just fools. But the problem is, raiders can just blow through doors and then start splashing here, opening so much of this. And then they can just start destroying these ramps. Like, if you want to build this space, you 100% have to have multiple externals. This is on rusticated sandbox. Hello, Kali. My cat is honestly retarded. Okay. See, it would be 1 rocket, 2 rockets, 3 rockets, 6 rockets, 9 rockets, and then we start shooting here. These both would be destroyed. This would be destroyed. This would be destroyed. And then it would be a 40 rocket full raid. Excluding that I will just soft side. And the peak dons aren't really good either. Like, they're pretty bad. I don't like it. Well, I call my cat retarded for a reason. It's like, I'm not just throwing around with words. It came up to me, started sitting next to me, then wanted to get cuddled and to get attention. It like tried to get up to me on my chair, and while that just smashed its head against my desk. DavDav alinity. I'm not abusing my cat is abusing itself. I'm telling it to stop, but it just keeps doing it. My cat is very cute. It sometimes gets so excited when cuddling that it starts just falling over. It like it starts rubbing its head against something, then starts rubbing so hard that it just tips over and falls over and lands on its back. It's very cute. Ram peaks, motherfucker. My personal favorite peak is the ramp peak. I don't know, it's like... I can show you what ramp peaks are. It's like... You would have something like... You have to have two squares behind each other. Then you would have something like this. These would now be ramp peaks to the outside. Yeah. Usually these get upgraded to metal. This is usually what I would... Turrets in your base, I would just say, don't have them, like, try to make them not splashable. Like, when you place them, try to place them in a way that the raider has to decide either going for the auto turret and destroying that, or splashing into, like, the cheapest way of your like, there's a cheapest way to your main loot. And on that way, they shouldn't get anything extra. Like, if you can not have your auto turrets be splashable on that way, don't. Or like, try to make it... Yeah. I don't know if you understand what I mean. But yeah, I like these a lot. But okay. What about using a ton of windows instead of doors? I did do that before, but now with the change of the windows to either them being not for rockets anymore, or you use the armored ones costing high qual, I don't think it's worth. Like, even back then it only was worth for like really small groups, where there isn't really a problem if you have to go through windows, because multiple people can't do that. And so, yeah, now it just got even worse because they aren't even as strong as garage doors anymore. So, yeah, they are still cheaper, but it's worse to expand, worse to use, and it's only cheaper. If you want to go full eco and like just want it as cheap as possible, then windows are still an option, but I personally wouldn't use it instead of doors. Yeah. Muffin, I think, like, I try to make all my bases like that you can expand them from a starter unit. I think that is one of the most important things. Especially for solo bases, that you don't have to build a starter base to your solo base. Because building a starter base is really... what path did I go for volume? I can show you. Can just rate it again real quick. Rate counter. Okay, first we splash here. 4 rockets right here. Next we start shooting like 8 rockets around this area. Next, next we shoot rockets here to destroy it, 4 in total. Then we shoot 3 rockets here. And then 1 rocket here. Okay, it's 20. Maybe I failed 1 rocket before, or maybe I failed 1 rocket here. But you could do it better with some expo ammo. But yeah, 20 rockets, 19. Not a big difference. It's a lot cheaper than he said. Hello, Rush. Could you assess Swifty's unique solo V2 design? I don't know. Like, I don't watch a lot of these PvP YouTubers. Oh no, Swifty, I remember him. Swifty unique solo. Did someone build it here? Oh, I pressed cancel. Like 2 times. No, nothing. Yeah, I can check it up on YouTube. Swifty's unique solo base. V2. Could you share your thoughts on starter units for solo bases in more detail? Well, I think that for solo bases, you being able to build them from starter to main is very important. You see, when let's use this, like the base that I built, as an example. If you build that one, but let's say it wasn't expandable, then you would have to waste the entire resources to build a starter base just to be able to build that main base. And then also for a solo, it's pretty hard to get 2 times a good, like, you need to get your base position down, and then you need to farm for your main base and hope that no one already took your spot where you wanted to build. So I think it's just better not needing to waste resources on a starter base, especially because in real Rust it's pretty hard to expand a lot of times when you're on a high pop server. So it's just very important. you need to think of in like a big base for a big clan. Spending some extra resources on a starter is not that important because they can just very easily do it from just, there are so many people that can just force themselves on people. But for a solo, that is a lot harder. I feel like, because in this base, I usually start off like this and then end up soft siding this. But this here, this little thing, it's called an airlock. And I think it's one of the most important things your starter unit has to have. Some form of airlock. Even if it's only this one that you can just get boosted through. Still, just not getting deep down is very important. Yeah. I wouldn't even just say it's highly valued. I would say that it's one of the most important things. Okay, Raj, stream sniped me. And even for clan bases it's important, because not being able to actually build your base, it's like you can have the best base, but if you're never going to end up at the end result, doesn't really matter. If you're never going to, like, it doesn't matter. No matter how good your base is, if you don't actually end up building it, it's not a good base. Not gonna protect your loot. He sees your wall less 1 by 2. What? He sees your wall less 1. What do you think about other rings in a base? What do you mean with rings in a base? Risks? And then still I don't know what you mean. Yeah, most people don't include shotgun traps in their design. Why? Because I think shotgun traps aren't really that important. It's like, of course, if you have them, putting them down is very nice. But making a design that uses shotgun traps isn't really good, because you spend so much. Yeah, I just don't think it's that necessary. It's like shotgun traps, unless they have some really important value. As for example, in a base like this, with bunkers, then that you could just walk in, a shotgun trap is very important to not get deep down. What would be a good basic footprint for building? I would say that the 2x2 is like, it's a footprint that you can work with. You can do very nice things with a 2x2. You can do very simple things with a 2x2. You can expand it very easily, and you can always remember how to do it. I would say that 2x2, like, you can fit quite a lot of people in a 2x2. Like, of course, not a clan, not a big group, but maybe a small group. Or you could just build it as a solo. I would say 2x2 is a good spot to begin. For bigger groups, I personally really like the 2x3. I think a 2x3 core is something very underrated. And for a solo, I like this footprint, as it is very compact for giving you 2 loot rooms. It's like the smallest thing you can do to have 2 loot rooms. They're splashable, yes, but it isn't really important as a solo, for where most of your stuff will be in 1 square anyway. Yeah. How could we finish off this day? This is the footprint that I want to use. One by one loot room design garage door. I can show you. I would probably do something on the lines of this. Along the lines of this. Wait, you can actually just do this right here. Oh no, you can't. This is probably what I would do. It's, you have 4 large boxes here, 4 small boxes to the barbecue. Have your TC there. It's pretty easy to place. And the best part is, what in my opinion is really important, you can replace the door. So you build it like this, and then boom. No, I don't think, like especially internal peaks for a solo base, don't do it. It's a waste of resources. And I usually just think as a solo, just having some offline protection and having it cheap is better. Without a TC, I'm looking. I have it here somewhere. Is it this? No, it's not. I'm sorry, I have a lot of builds here. I just can't find what I'm looking for right now. What is this? Oh yeah, I found it. This is what I usually use just as a loot room. Don't have to have these. Lot of storage. Relatively easy to build, especially to expand with the boxes you just have in the back. And you have shotgun traps here that fit very easily. Do you mean this thing? This was something very old that I built. Would have been built with a shell base. Would have been pretty nice, but I don't know if it would have been nice. Would have been nice for what I was looking for at that time. Wouldn't do it today again. Yeah, use it. If you want to know how to build it, there's a tutorial on YouTube by me. No, the 2 triangle core thing. I don't know what you mean. I need some water. The one thing one with the ring. The one thing. Oh, do you mean this? Yeah, back in the day I used this a lot. It was pretty solid. Now I wouldn't use it anymore. Very bad expandability and ease of access, but it is very strong. For disconnectables, I would say when I do disconnectables, I have a video on disconnectable gate hosts on YouTube. But for the disconnectable process, I usually just do this here. Do you think floor stacking is worth it? Sometimes, but I don't think floor stacking is that good. It's a lot of... You need to do it from a starter beginning, which you probably won't do on a real server, so you will have to build a starter, and I'm not a fan of building starters, I'm a fan of expandable bases. And then it is pretty hard to build, so it is very likely that you will actually just... You might fuck it up and not find out in time, and then your base is fucked. Or you might build it and then your base location is fucked. You take too long to build it and get killed on wipe day. Not cool. And there usually are just better ways to do it, especially because floor stacking will leave your foundations, like you can see here, this is floor stacked, and this leaves the foundations pretty exposed. Floor stacking is placing foundations in different heights, like, okay, this is too tight. Haven't freehanded it in a while, but I'm too lazy to not freehand it. Floor stacking is this. Where you place foundations at slightly different heights to be able to place floors like this. Oh. Thanks a lot, Alaska's bigger than Texas, for the $2. Very nice. I appreciate it. And now my cat is laying on my mouse pad. And it's like, if you're thinking about the use for it, it's just so that if you get top down, the raiders will be like, oh, let's raid through this floor. And because it is one wall high, under this there must be TC. And then it's like, oh, there's another floor. It's like, if you get top down, it's very hard to raid you. But yeah, because you can't place foundations here, it will leave your TC, like your foundation raid path will be very easy. Okay, Rush. You can stack to infinity, but it becomes really awkward to actually build a base out of it at some point. I don't really know what you mean, Zappy. Wait, can you recreate my base entrance? 3 triangles. 2 floor height. Maybe like this? A little easier one. When you play solo, where do you build? What biome? I usually don't care about the biome. Well, I don't care if it's snow or normal. I don't want to live in the desert, but I would prefer living in a normal climate, as in the snow for a solo is pretty hard to get close reliably, especially in the beginning on hyperpop servers. And for a location, I like to just live next to some form, like, I just need something to expand, like to grow. For example, living next to a train yard, an airfield, water treatment, power plant, or even just a sewer for high tier stuff. And then like stuff to be able to get those cards to get there. And usually like living next to outpost is very underrated as a solo. Door frame. Ah. I think I know what you mean. Or maybe this isn't actually. It depends if you farm a lot as a trio or not. But I would guess that maybe something like 2x2 could be cool. 2x3, something like that. I don't really like this because you would just be able, like getting deep down is pretty hard, but you could do that another way, and you can always just F1 or bean can out shotgun traps that are in these holes. And it's pretty big, clunky for not really a lot of protection. I don't like it, but I can cover up the top half above. Can place 2 shotgun traps there. I would assume that you're just gonna be doing like this, or maybe at lower height, just so that if someone were to do la 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 la, I hate jumping, that I just get boomed. If you want to see a small group design, just look on my YouTube and the newest video. Hi Rush. Is this you? Yeah, hi Rush. And some tips. Small group-based designs, I think, it depends what you see as a small group. If for like a 4-man, I think it's pretty hard, because a 4-man is the group size where you begin to maybe need real peek downs, internal peek downs, bunkers. Okay, so like this. Oh, peek down tutorial. That will take some time. Didn't start with it yet. Well, I did think about it a bit. And, maybe it might come out in like 4 to 5 people. I would honestly just say something like my newest base. I think for 4 to 5 people, a good idea is to have a core, something like a 2x2, 2x3, or similar, as a starter unit that can be expanded pretty well, and then have a shell around it. That shell can either have bunkers if you want, like in my newest video, or not. On that size, I don't think it's that necessary. I think a solo base doesn't need to have external TCs, but I would say it depends on if you... Well, it depends where your workbench is placed, but I think it also depends on if you are planning on keeping on playing even though you got raided. Yes, I am talking from the gorilla, of the gorilla. This just is a bunch of empty space that isn't really used. Probably something like this rather. For something real. I wouldn't want to use this. I would prefer just a normal entrance. But I can see why you would do it. I don't know what you mean, Zappy. A trap below mid-floor. Where? Like this? I don't know. The problem is that because of the delay that there's automatically, when you say like talking about something that's happening in the moment for you, that happened like at least 6-7 seconds ago for me. Where are you from, man? I am from Germany. Yeah. Make a trap base. No, thank you. I don't like trap bases. Don't think. Yeah. Just not a big fan of them. Mostly, yeah. I would say solo needs expandability as well. And of course enough storage, but other than that, yeah. I would say solo can focus. Depends on if you farm a lot as a solo. I don't know, the keybind to switch B grade is different on every building server. If you're playing on Rusticated, it is F. Yeah, people like bullying solos. No, I think expandability is just that you have a base design that you plan on building. For example, you go to my YouTube, so you see a base you like. I want to build that base. That is my base. And then expandability is just how you get from placing the first foundation to having the base finished. That is what expandability is for me. You could rush, but I don't think you need to. I'm a bit mad that it doesn't work as I wanted it to work. Yeah. I would say, yeah. The stages that you can work towards, and that it's relatively easy to do those stages. That you don't have to build, like especially for a starter, that you don't have to build, I don't know, half the base. In my base, I usually value securing TC, because usually I build an unlootable TC room where I would have most of my protected stuff. But in a bigger base, especially in some, like the Gorilla, my newest base, where I have 3 main loot storages, I focus on those 3 storages. I'm gonna get myself something quick to eat. Be right back. Behave yourselves. I'm back. Raj, how much money did you pay for that skin? Too much. Too damn right. Five. I think £5 is not. It's okay. No. It's not worth putting vending machines in Honeycomb. It's too expensive and you can do way better things. Especially now with the change in how many of them you can put in a triangle. I don't think there's ever a reason. And yes, I do have, well, not this exact base design, because I'm playing around with new version. But something like this. I can send a link in. Sorry for me eating, but I'm hungry. I don't know how I'm supposed to eat louder. And Tim, I'm not interested. You don't need to send it multiple times. And no, I'm not. I don't like building things that are reliant on terrain. And just because you can put a vending machine underwater doesn't mean that you should. Just me eating a protein bar. As a meat. Ha. My favorite type of bunker is probably this one. Like the one in this base, or the one that can be expanded into an airlock. Where I like have a vending machine in there. But I don't know if that still works. So it might be this one if we do it like this. Well, I don't know what. I think my favorite type of the bunker is the one that fits the build the most. Now that I think about it. I would say bunkers are usually determined by the footprint. I would say it's like with this here. I had this footprint. Maybe I had thought about adding honeycomb here. Then the next logical thing is to have a square here. Usually in a square you want a loot room, but I can't have a loot room here because it will be my way out. So, what else do you do? Put in a bunker. I do have online defendability always in my mind, but it's especially in smaller bases, and I usually build smaller bases. It isn't that important in my opinion. I feel like from the questions that you also asked before, I think the bigger the base and the bigger the group, the less important your TC and the more important online protection is. That's how I would think about it. More. Why is it that you can't join build servers with pirated Rust? I don't know. Pretty confused about that one. But I hope the apps aren't that bad to aren't as bad to use as I expect them to be. I know it was big, but I couldn't even imagine playing Minecraft on my phone, and I would expect it to be very much like that. Wait. With pirated Rust? Oh, well, I don't really know how pirating Rust works. I would have expected you can just join the servers, but apparently not. If I got rich on resources, I would probably... Well, it depends if you want a new base But I would personally probably just build a big compound, like a massive compound, with 2 external gates. And those external gates are that far away from each other that they don't share bag timers. And those external compound gates would have a bedroom with kids and stuff and an unlootable. And there would also be like a compound gates that would be pretty sick. Like in the video I had about it. They would have a lot. And then you would have those which are basically their own individual base. And so then you split your loot across these 3 rooms. That way offline raiding you is very hard, because all of them would have unlootables. And they would have shooting floors as well as bedrooms with kids, so respawning in them during an online raid, you can always attack the raider from the back, always respawn, and unless they raid all 3 bases that you would have, they would never be able to seal and safely transfer, because with beds, and 2 beds, you're basically never on a bag timer, so unless you run out of kids, you can always keep on fighting. That is what I would do, and what I planned to do the last wipe, and I only got stopped of that by me not being able to build a compound, because of the terrain I chose to build in. That was a lot of words, but I hope it still was understandable. Yes. That is what I would do. And that is what I think personally is the best way to build a solo base. I think that would be peak solo base. Yeah, I can just check on my channel real quick for those videos. I'm lagging a bit right now. My internet is a bit slow. Hello, Kelly. My cat's here again. Say hello, guys. Yeah, that would be the gate. Okay. Okay, if you were just for a refinery, I think adding a refinery is pretty easy. Oh, hi, Escornet. I would assume it's really you. Because a refinery fits either in a square or in 2 triangles like this. So I would personally, for example, if we have the base I built last web, just do this, add 2 foundations here. I don't care about soft siding into them. Then have this, have a half wall here, and just a single door here. Maybe 2 single doors if you want an airlock there, but nothing more than that. I think that's totally enough. No one's going to raid your refinery base if you're using it as a solo and taking out the low grade regularly. My day has been pretty decent. I did military towns as a solo. I was pretty happy about that. even though it was very scuffed. And at the end I got killed by a silenced AK, but I still did do it. Yeah. But then I got pretty bored relatively fast because the people I wanted to raid, that base just disappeared during the time I didn't play as much. So yeah. Bye bye, Asconi. Well, if you want to see an extended 2x2, look on my channel. Yeah. Now, if you look on my channel, I have multiple 2x2s. I'm a big fan of 2x2s, so I have a lot of them on my YouTube. Okay, Rash. What do you have to show me? Let's see if I can... That's called a suicide bunker, Rash. Why would you build a suicide bunker? Huh? Yeah, I know you can pixel gap it. It's still a suicide bunker. Well, no, it's not. Well, it's not really a suicide bunker. If you think about it. But still, to your TC, it's a suicide bunker in this configuration. And... no, don't be sorry. And like... you could do it, but... I don't really know why. It's like, it's not bad. It's pixel gapped, it's okay. Don't feel bad about yourself. I'm a bit bored, I don't know what to build. I have no idea at the moment. Zapion, what kind of servers do you play on? Like vanilla or... vanilla low pop. Well, turrets are pretty expensive. No, I don't build on environments. I don't like limiting myself to some form of environment. Because my main focus is... I think compounds are really OP if you do them correctly. And they are usually pretty hard with terrain. And also I don't like limiting myself to terrain. Because I think base location is so important. But maybe... like some form of rocks I can see. Like rock bases I can see them. Or like cave bases. I'm just not a fan of it. But those two, if you want to use them, I can understand why you would. Can you show us how to make a shell around the base? Well, I can try. I would assume that... What do you mean creating with good compounds compounds with custom external gates that function as little flank bases. I would say that is... yeah. Like if you ask any good base builder, they will just say that the best thing for online protection is multiple bedrooms that are not splashable, don't share timers with kids in them. That's just super OP for online raids. And I think that if you make your base just a very big offline block and then have external TCs that are very good for onlines, that can be very strong. I don't support either. I think they are both stupid. And while I do agree with Vice that Tronin is lying about raid cost and not really good at building, I don't really care enough to support either. I would agree that it's funny. They are both making fools of themselves. I think people making fools of themselves is funny. Then you can do a laugh. Ha ha ha. Big cool. So it's 9 foundations away from TC to put another TC horizontally. How many is it diagonally? I'm pretty sure it's not 9. I think it's less. If you look like... I don't know about his playstyle. I don't like watching his videos, as I don't enjoy really videos without audio. But his bases I don't really like, as they... I would say his bases just don't offer anything really. If you look now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, yeah, it's 6. I don't think there's any reason... I just don't think Alone in Tokyo is like... Don't think his bases are good, don't think he's entertaining. But I can understand why people like him. What is unturned? Never heard of that? Ooh, raid cost of 69 sounds pretty sexual. Oh yeah, a shell around the base. With walls blocking each other, if you do it normally, you usually shouldn't have a problem. Usually when you build a shell, you can do it basically it's like one of two ways. Either you have it single TC or multi-TC. I would usually say multi-TC is better in most cases. Yeah. When you do multi-TC, you only want to go out with 2 sides. Why? Because if you go out with all sides, the gaps will be way too big and way too big to do anything about people being able to shoot for it. Now you need to think about... Now with doing the shell, you need to think about things like peak downs and filling it up. Something that I used to do a lot and played around with is this. But this footprint is very hard to actually like fill together at the end. because there isn't any combination of walls that allows you to build this in. And the pictons aren't that great. So now with shells, I usually just try to have some sort of square, so I can make ramp peak downs, and like have your, with shell you will always have kind of gaps here. And I try to make those gaps just like this. Like this being gaps, but the gaps being in the shape of actual foundations, so that later you can fill it in very easily. I think Prince Witt's trap bases are sometimes interesting. I would say he's like, I sometimes watch him. He's like, he's okay, but I do really like Frost. Frost would be probably my second favorite Rust YouTuber, maybe even. Yeah, some of Frost's videos are scripted. But like, now it is common knowledge that they are scripted, and then I think it's okay. Because at the end of the day, it's a movie. I just didn't like that he made videos and then didn't, like, quotation mark, because in his opinion he didn't, but in my opinion he did lie about them being scripted. And I think lying is, like, I hate when people lie to me. I hate it for my life. And usually when I try to build a shell, I try to have some sort of square in there that I can then put bedrooms in. Yeah, I also like his scripted videos more, because I think they are way more interesting. It's like Frost is very good at making videos. If he's just honest about, like, now that he's, like, now when he says written by Frost, you know it's scripted. And then, like, if you just go at it thinking it is scripted and you already know it, then it's all okay. If you want to see a multi-TC shell, you can just look at my newest video. At the moment, my favorite 2x2 multi-TC shell base would be something like this. I'm multi-TCing out here with a command. Couldn't do that in real Rust, but yeah. What is your favorite base design? I don't know, can't really say. But it might actually be La Tortuga. And Rush, you don't need to give me skins, you can keep them for yourselves. Watching Rust streams is pretty boring. Most of it is gathering crafting. True. Yeah. If you have questions on me, just join my Discord. I basically am in there every single day. Alright. Can always. Yeah. Raj, I don't even know what a trade link is, to be honest. Well, I did figure that out myself, but I just, like... La Tortuga. It is one of my favorite bases. Because it's just so efficiently. No, La Tortuga is just the turtle from English. Like in Spanish. I just went on Google Translate and googled what the turtle means. Yeah, I used it myself. It is very cozy. It is a very, like, it's super budget, that base. The upkeep is less than, it's 25 high qual and about a stack of stone and less than a stack of metal. Build cost is less than a box, including all deployables and all wood. It is super budget and I like it. That is very sad, Sappy. Okay, if you really want to send me it, I can just open. Wait. Trade offers. Trade offers. Who can send me trade offers? Then scroll down, then there's a link. Just gonna post it in here, I don't really care. Yeah, 1.5 thousand HQM, that's pretty solid. I would say that's... I'm currently not really building, I'm currently just playing around. Well, I thought about redoing the gorilla, but trying to making it a bit more separated in the shooting floor. I try to a bit more separated in the shooting floor and have it a bit cheaper. Do that. Jata sounds like a good plan. Send you a trade. Thank you, Raj. Thank you a lot. Okay. And what I'm thinking right now is, if I raise these foundations by a half height, I can then make it so that I have to use one less wall. Nah, not punishment mask. He's not that rich. He sent me an alien red AK. Yeah. Because if I can remove an entire floor from the base, that would make it a lot cheaper. And I like making things cheaper. I like this shell too because you can do ramp peek downs here. And then like look into your base like this. And then you have 4 bedrooms here. Yeah. External TCs or multi-TC, if you want to be really complicated about it, works for not getting reefed. When doing that, just go out until you don't have building privilege anymore. Slap down a triangle like this. Maybe make it metal. Then have like here, that in front. Considering you have a lot of high qual, let's just use high qual windows. And then you build like a way like this. To your main base. But don't forget to also add this here. This isn't optional, you have to do it. And voila, you have an outer TC, external TC. And unless they then destroy all the external TCs, they won't be able to grief your main base. Yes, because if the path isn't there, then it doesn't work. Because the TC doesn't actually, like building privilege doesn't go out from TC, but from the building blocks itself. So if you do it like this, from this point out, it will spread its building privilege. If this path wasn't here, then your building privilege would reach to here when your base is here, so it doesn't even make a difference. And of course, try to make this path as close to the base as possible. And if you want to be really sure about it, that you don't get griefed, like, of course, upgrading this path to metal is good, because otherwise it's 4 rockets to disconnect. And then, if your base is really tall, doing something like this, so the building privilege also spreads upwards, is important. No problem. Being able to build external TCs is always important. I would say it's one of the basic things everyone should know. What is the best trio base? I would say there isn't the best trio base. It's like a trio. It can be. You can do so many different things as a trio already that it doesn't really apply. Something that I would build as a trio would probably be something that if you look on YouTube, a base that is called my favorite base I ever built. Would maybe build something like this. It's like an expanded 2x2. Or maybe if I'm in an active farmer trio, I would maybe build the gorilla. That is because people are bad at building. Most people just try to build peak downs, but they don't build good peak downs. Like, good peak downs are hard to take, and they cost like, I would say if you have building like a 12-man base, I would personally try to make my peak downs, getting into them, more expensive than getting just through into the base. That way the raider has to decide if they want to spend extra rockets getting your peaks, or if they want to save rockets. But it usually just is not ideal base design. There are a lot of ways of building peak downs. This is one of them. Could all like base solid. Peak downs are a pretty complex thing. I will probably make a video on them. Maybe like somewhere next month. Not really building a lot, to be honest. Mostly just talking about building, but it's very fun. Not had slam streaming. I don't think Manly and stuff would want that, and I'm not interested in the talking heads. Yeah, I figured out my last bunker was splashable, so now I'm working on a new version of the... This isn't really helping the problem. I hate my... I would say I was the original to hate on my gaming experience. Because the builds aren't good. The builds aren't good. I made an entire video about one of his bases. He doesn't build good, he isn't good with critique, and he isn't evolving. Like, I made an entire video about one of his bases after I tried to help him, but then he deleted the comments I made and banned me from his Discord, so yeah. Made a video about him. I would say that I was like the original of making fun of my gaming experience. Before that, like, I really liked him. I thought he was a good builder because I never really thought about it. About his bases. I never really used my brain while looking at them. Until one time I realized how bad it actually is, and then I realized that all his bases are bad. What bunker do you mean? Do you mean the roof bunker? What bunker do you mean? Yeah. This is my video about my gaming experience. Oh, that bunker there. Well, I can explain how to make it, but I wouldn't make it because it isn't that great. But I'm gonna explain it anyway for the concept. This would work by... This is normal way. Then when you get online, you spawn inside of your base here, destroy the twig, and then you can get out here. And then when you go offline again, you place again the frame. It isn't really great. It is like... Maybe there are some cases where I would use it, but not a lot. But yeah, I'm currently just doing a lot of testing and playing around. Yeah, but foundations don't give stability. Foundations only give stability to things that are above them. Yeah. What bunker you are using? Huh? I don't know who Pioneer even is. What do you mean, Zappy? The bunker that I'm using currently in this build, or the bunkers that I'm using in my current bases when I'm designing bases? What do you mean? I don't know. He's asking like what your bunker was. Probably the roof bunker I did before, or a roof bunker that is inside of a triangle, or like the bunker that I did in La Tortuga, the bunker that I showed before behind this airlock. And thank you, Augusto. I appreciate that you like my stuff. Makes me happy. This is a bunker that I might use. Or just the classic roof bunker. Like the multi-TC one. If you don't know that, there's a new video coming out tomorrow explaining stuff like that. Like it. I would say like these bunkers here, this one and the one I showed before, are great for solos and like small groups. Like not small groups, but solo, do it maybe trio. And roof bunkers are just the meta right now for big bases. If you wanted to farm, how could you build a more expensive to rate version of La Tortuga or just any base with a heavy focus on offline protection? I don't know, it's not really that hard. I would probably just do something like you have your unlootable and then you just have spiraling out a path of doorways to it with honeycomb around that. It's concept is pretty easy, but it's hard to explain. I guess. No, I'm not feeling like getting in the car right now, Rush. I wanna build. I got some inspiration. Yes, that is supposed to happen. That is how the bunker works. It isn't... Like, the base basically has no online protection capabilities. It is... Yeah, it's just designed as an as cheap as possible solo base for offline protection. Focus on as cheap as possible. Yeah, it is cozy. But sadly, coziness doesn't give online protection. I did not really understand what you meant by non-budget version. Okay, I don't know if I said what you just wrote because I don't understand what that means. If I said that, then I don't remember what I meant. Because that doesn't sound like it has a lot of meaning to it. Oh, I would say that a non-budget Lotto Tuga would just be like, it would just be an unlootable and then shit ton of honeycomb around it with a path of doors just going through. I don't think really there's a way to not make the Lotto Tuga budget. It's, well, of course there's a way, I might, but the base design is pretty limited. It's hard to just say it like that. Hello, Matthew. Best started with storage. What? Oh, thank you, Raj. That's very nice. My man, joining the Bone Mask gang. What is the best footprint? I don't know. There isn't the best footprint. Maybe the 2x2. 2x2 can do a lot of things. But it's like 2x3 can also do a lot of things. 4x3 can also do a lot of things. Yay, Rush. Yay. Bone Mask. Yeah. Bone. Non-budget offline protection base would... It would just be a bunch of split loot rooms, where the loot rooms are either, in my opinion, unlootable vending machine loot rooms, or roof bunkers. Wait, it's £2. Then you get... No, the don't talk about the Tyco. Don't talk about the Tyco like it's a good thing. I think 2 squares are more expensive, to be honest. Oh. Then I guess British people are getting scammed. I don't know how it actually works, because because it's like, I don't know how it's actually calculated. Okay, no, I understand. Oh, yeah. Roof bunker equals trick roof to open or trick floor frame. Oh no, it's like, for me, I set it to €2, and €2 is a bit less than £2. And apparently Google just made it £2 then for you. Well, first of all, 2 squares, the airlock would be worse. Second, we can see here, I'm pretty sure this is more expensive than this, as it's 1 more wall. I would say base inspiration just comes from learning new things. Like learning a new way to do some sort of bunker or something like that, and then just trying to use it. I usually just get my inspiration from playing around. Okay, guys. I think I like this. But maybe we can do it better because I have some idea. Base. I watched a lot of your vids and all of them. Nice, Matthew. Hi, Rush. I'm thinking if we do squares like this. Well, if this works, then I'm happy. Okay. Okay. Bye-bye, Rush. Okay, we have this version and we have the other version. Let's see which one is cheaper. The other one is quite a lot in stone cheaper. Also has a lot less space. I think it would be better if you just can't do a full height foundation here, just realized. Bullshit. I'm redesigning La Tortuga because I found an exploit on how to rate it, so it's only 21 instead of 23 rockets. It's like I knew about the way that it splashes, but I didn't know that it would apply in that scenario. So, yeah. I'm beginning to like this. It looks pretty shitty, but on the inside it's pretty efficient. If anyone has any questions about building or anything really, feel free to ask them. I would say for a solo, in my opinion, the best thing is to use a bunker and an unlootable. Something like this. This is currently what I'm designing for me as a solo. Something that I would personally use in a newer version of the base that I used as a solo to swipe. It is an unlootable, a loot room, a bunker, another loot room, some more storage, and an entrance. It's very basic. I would say especially stability bunkers or bunkers of that way. Critique that swiftly base for me. Which base do you mean? Yes, it is the roof on a half wall that when you destroy the half wall, the roof breaks. No, don't worry. No worries. Problem is, yeah, he doesn't have a rusticated base, so I will have to build it from the tutorial. But I would assume that it's not that great because his bases usually aren't that good. But maybe this one is different. Oh, I didn't really pay attention. What did he do? Okay. So far it doesn't look that bad. Doesn't look great, but not bad. But yeah, to be honest, I'm already a bit disgusted by him having an large furnace in his solar base. Okay, I don't feel like building it anymore. I'm just gonna look at the video. Okay, it looks like a pretty bad base. Not a bad base. It looks like a base that's not that shit, but something that you should never build. I don't know anything for 2 large furnaces, but I think I know someone. Not a fan of him as a person, but I think this video is pretty solid. But usually I would personally don't build a furnace base, just have a compound and furnaces in it. That's what I usually do, what I think is best. But if you want a furnace base, just watch that video. It's pretty solid. Well, no problem. I'm pretty bored. I don't know what to build. I'm currently thinking about if I like the space. I think the shell is pretty solid. Well, like not what he's doing with it, but it has potential. And I'm thinking a bit more. You can get nice peaks here, but you can't get roof bunkers. Is there a way to... Let's test it ourselves. This is usually how you get ideas for building. Just seeing things and then thinking if you can do them better. We're gonna be doing squares here so we can have roof bunkers. Because I like roof bunkers. I think they are pretty OP. That everything is metal doesn't really matter. I'm just... In reality it shouldn't be metal probably. Oh, doesn't even work that way, lol. Lol. Yeah, sadly doesn't work. No, I think it's too big for only the core to be protected. I don't like the H2 footprint, it's not good. The gaps to cover them up is pretty shit. H2 footprint is not good. Also the peaks aren't great. I don't know a reason why I would build the H2 footprint if I could just not build it. To be honest. It's like... Hi, Dad. What is the Jimacy floor loot room? What is that supposed to be? I'm probably gonna go off pretty soon. Maybe after I answer the last questions that you guys have. Yeah. What do you mean with Jimmy floor room? Floor loot room. That doesn't work. Those don't work because having a like the gap would be between these two foundations, and then you would have something like this, and you wouldn't be able to see it. Unless you mean it like this, and then you would be able to splash it. 2x1 footprint. I would honestly say if you build a 2x1, probably should just do it very simple. Just a 2x. I don't really like 2x1s. But you could be doing something like. Wait. I guess you could use a 2x1 for a shell. Like this. Then maybe do a little multi-TCing here. Then do don't have to do it. And then do wait. Give me a second. Could do something like this and then like do this all around, but then it's not really that great. But I guess it could be okay. That's probably something that I would think of. But I don't really like 2x1s. I think it's better if you do something like this and then expand off that. More storage. It's just a better 2x1. Yeah, it is H-Jones foot. Well, it's a 2x1 version of H-Jones footprint. But yeah, I said I didn't really like it. It's just 2x1s aren't that great. Yeah. Well, then if there aren't any questions, thanks again to Alaska is bigger than Texas for donating and Raj for becoming a member of the channel. Bye bye. Bye bye everyone. Bye bye. If you have any questions anymore to building, you can join my Discord and ask there. I'm basically always active there and always happy to answer questions.